Hello students, let's continue our topic from page number 90. Next bacteria is given here. Next useful bacteria, yeast. Okay, but before to start this, one paragraph is given here and which is related to how rhizobia are useful for farmers, and another column is also given about rhizobial inoculations. Okay, so first of all we will discuss about that, then we'll start our next useful bacteria, yeast. From here we'll start. Let's read. After harvesting a leguminous crop, the leftover roots and other plants part are deliberately dumped in the farm soil to maintain its bacterial population. The use of rhizobium has helped to reduce the use of chemical fertilizers and thereby their adverse effects. It has also helped to reduce expenses on the fertilizers and thus works on the benefits of the farmers. This paragraph deals with how rhizobia are useful for the farmers. As we know, rhizobia live in root nodules of leguminous plants, okay, and are capable of producing nitrogenous compounds from atmospheric nitrogen. Okay. Then these bacteria helpful or useful for the farmers also, because of after harvesting the leguminous crop from the farm, the leftover roots and other plant parts are deliberately dumped in the farm, and due to this the beneficial bacterial population is maintained in the soil. Okay, due to this leftover part of the leguminous crop, after harvesting we can maintain bacterial population in the soil when we dumped into the farm. Also, rhizobia provides nitrogenous compounds to the plants. It helps to reduce the use of chemical fertilizers and thereby their adverse effects also. Because of what? Nitrogen, it is one of the important component, right, which is necessary for the growth of the plants. Leguminous plants, they are having this bacteria, okay, in the root nodules. So indirectly this bacteria provides nitrogen to the plants, and that is the reason it helps to reduce the use of chemical fertilizers, okay, and their adverse effects also. Also it has reduced expenses on fertilizers. Indirectly the expenses on the fertilizers also reduced, and thus it beneficial to the farmers, and that is the reason these are beneficial to the farmers. Another column is given here about rhizobial inoculations. Inoculation means what? Inoculation may be defined as the process of adding effective bacteria to the host plant seed before planting. Okay, inoculation means adding of bacteria to the host plant before planting, and the purpose of inoculation is to make sure that there is enough of the correct type of bacteria present in the soil so that the successful legume bacteria symbiosis is established. To establish the bacteria symbiosis, right, beneficial relationship between the plant and the bacteria, by adding that we can establish this relationship. Let's read. Nowadays seeds are coated with rhizobial solution or powdered before sowing. Okay, some seeds are available in the market which already coated with the rhizobial solutions. After sowing, rhizobia enters the plantlets, and this is called rhizobial inoculation. Okay, rhizobial inoculation means of adding of this bacteria into the plants before sowing. This experiment has helped in the supply of nitrogen to cereal and other crops beside leguminous crops. Okay, beside leguminous crops, other plants also get nitrogen by adding this bacteria, and this is called rhizobial inoculation. Alright. So now let's start our next useful microorganism, bacteria, yeast. Okay, from here we will start. One activity is given here. Let's read this activity first of all. This is the activity which is related to the yeast. Bring active dry yeast from the market. Mix a spoonful of yeast, 2 spoonful sugar with a sufficient quantity of lukewarm water in the bottle. Fix a colorless transparent balloon on the mouth of that bottle. Yeast and sugar. Why sugar? Because sugar contains carbohydrates. Okay, glucose, lactose, fructose. These are the types of the or forms of the carbohydrates. And these bacteria convert those sugar, okay, into the acid or alcohol in the fermentation process. Fix a colorless transparent balloon on the mouth of that bottle. We have to fix one balloon at the mouth of the bottle. That bottle contains the mixture of yeast and sugar along with lukewarm water. What changes do you observe after 10 minutes? After 10 minutes, what changes will you observe? Mix lime water with the gas accumulated in the balloon. You will observe gas accumulated in that balloon which is fixed at the mouth of the bottle. Now mix lime water into that balloon. Collect that lime water in the beaker and observe it. What do you notice? The color changes. Why? Because of, take a drop of solution from the bottle on the glass slide, put a cover slip over it, observe it under the compound microscope, store the solution in the bottle carefully. First of all, we have to understand the gas which is accumulated in the balloon. That gas is a carbon dioxide due to the fermentation of the sugar because of the yeast. Yes, carbon dioxide gas is released. Okay, now take a drop of solution from the bottle and observe it under the microscope. Do you see the colorless oval cells of yeast on the slides? Yes, you will observe oval shape. Yes, these are yeast. This method of now some of those cells may have small round bodies attached to them. These are new daughter cells of yeast in the process of formation. Okay, so small round bodies attached to them. Those cells may have small round bodies. Okay, you can see here, this is the one of the small round body which is attached to the parent cell. Yes, this is the parent cell and this is the small body which is attached to the cell. Okay, parent cell. These are new daughter cells of the yeast in the process of formation. These are bud, right? New cells. So new cells are formed because of the bud. This method of asexual reproduction is called budding. Yeast is a heterotrophic fungal microbe that grows on the carbon compounds. Yeast, they reproduce with the help of buds or budding, asexual reproduction. Okay, they are heterotrophic fungal microbe that grows on carbon compound. They grows on carbon compound mostly. Yeast is a unicellular fungus with 1500 different species in existence. They are unicellular and they are 1500 different species in existence. The yeast cell is eukaryotic type of cell, means all the cell organelles are well differentiated, having cell membrane. Okay, in the above experiment, yeast grows and multiplies very quickly due to carbon compounds in the sugar solution. You can see in the experiment, yeast cells grow very fast. Okay, they multiplies in numbers because of the carbon compounds in the sugar solution, and in this process of obtaining nutrition, yeast cells convert carbohydrates in that solution into alcohol and carbon dioxides. Okay, due to the obtaining the nutrition. They convert the carbohydrates in that sugar solution into alcohol and carbon dioxide, and this process is called as the fermentation. For fermentation brought by the yeast cells also, right? This is about the yeast. Now one question is given here at the bottom of this page. Find out how to use the solution prepared in the above experiment to make bread. Follow the recipe and make the bread. Find out and note down the reasons why the dough rises and make the bread spongy. This is here homework, student 5. Or what are the reason behind why the dough rises and make the bread spongy while adding the yeast. Okay.